Osgood Perkins' latest thriller is The Monkey, based on a short story by Stephen King. First published in Gallery magazine in 1980. In 1985, it was later published in a King collection called The Skeleton Crew. I really wanted to read the story before checking out the movie, so I picked up a copy, and now I want to talk about the story. So I won't be spoiling the ending of the book. However, here's your spoiler warning, as I will be going through the narrative beat by beat, but I will stop again at the finale. The Monkey is a gripping tale centered around Hal Sherman, a man tormented by a sinister wind-up monkey toy that seems to herald death and disaster. The narrative kicks off when Hal's son, Dennis, stumbles upon the monkey while exploring the attic of Hal's childhood home. Hal is immediately filled with dread as memories of his past encounters with the toy flood back. Through a series of flashbacks, Hal recalls discovering the monkey among his father's belongings in a storage closet. His father actually disappeared, and it is heavily implied that this was something the monkey had to do with. As a child, Hal observed a chilling pattern. Each time that the monkey clapped its cymbals, a tragic death followed. These incidents include the death of Hal's childhood friend, Johnny, from a tree house, and the demise of Aunt Ida's cat, which was hit by a car. Convinced of the monkey's curse, young Hal tried to rid himself of it by throwing it down a well near his home. Years later, the monkey mysteriously reappeared, unsettling Hal and sparking fears for his family's safety. Determined to eliminate the cursed toy once and for all, Hal enlists the help of his younger son, Petey. Together, they head to Crystal Lake, carrying the monkey concealed in a flight bag weighed down with rocks. And this is where I'm gonna leave it story-wise. As far as King's stories go, this one is good but not great. The story is extremely well written because, duh, it's prime Stephen King, and there is a texture in how he frames the story, not only with colorful but believable characters, but also damned if he doesn't set a mood and tone that is so haunting. Surface level, yes, this is about a monkey that seems to have the power to, at random, kill not only people but pets and fish, and sometimes even something as innocuous as a fly. Yet the randomness of death is scary, and that is something that King is nearly unmatched at in terms of conveying. And I think this is best conveyed in Pet Sematary, which is a personal favorite of mine. Then you have this theme of generational trauma, something else that King is really good at, both subtly and more overtly. Fatherhood and connecting to one's past, and how that past is shaping one's offspring, is also at the forefront of this story, and very interesting, especially in the context of a killer toy monkey. All of these things really make the story feel powerful at times, and other times King just has this way of building dread and tension that is intoxicating as it is unsettling. Having the conflict mainly comprising of these very intimate settings is a stroke of brilliance, and it further highlights how King is really a once-in-a-generation talent. It's also interesting because this feels like a proto-It, as it follows a timeline from past and present. Though, as it's a short story, it does this on a much smaller scale, but it is fascinating seeing King flex this style of storytelling. Having said that, there are a few points that I think kind of let this story down. Hal is established as a father who, has the usual struggles, but he's an overall good dad. Hal has two sons. One is a teenager named Dennis, and the younger is Petey. Dennis is going through a pretty typical rebellious phase and is exploring drugs and testing his boundaries. This has been causing a rift between Hal and Dennis way before the story even takes place. Contrast this with Petey, who absolutely adores his dad and looks up to him. The stress of the unfolding events in the present really weighs on Hal to the point that in order to get his point across, Hal slams Dennis against a wall. We learn that this is out of character for Hal, and both seem equally taken aback by this. Secretly, Hal wants to mend this relationship with Dennis and yearns to take him fishing just like he and his uncle did. And in an eerie turn of events, Hal will end up taking a son on the lake, but of course not how he envisioned. However, Petey, the younger boy, is the one enlisted to help Hal and goes onto the boat with him, whereas it should have been Dennis from a story standpoint. Why not have this incredible bonding moment between father and son with the son that you actually need to bond more with? Petey already adores his father, so I don't really see the point. King is far from stupid, so I'm sure he's considered this, but for whatever reason, Petey is the one to share this moment with his father. And frankly, I don't think it's a nitpick, nor do I think it necessarily undercuts the story, but I think this tweak would have made things 10 times more powerful. I know this is a short story, but I just kind of wanted more from it. Like, the world is fleshed out, sure, but there are a few points that I wanted to maybe get a little bit more texture and world building on. Like, here's the thing, I want to keep some things a mystery. I'm happy we don't get a lot of explanation for the monkey, for example, but I also think having more time in the past and some more deaths, quite frankly, would have went a long way to build more horror and suspense. Speaking of, according to the trailer, this movie adaptation is gory as hell, whereas in the story, I think maybe 3 people die tops, and it's in very basic ways. Contrast this with the trailer, which makes it seem like these gory, splattery Final Destination style kills, which I'm all here for, but it's very different in the story, and I just wanted to point that out somewhere in this video. While not even the strongest story in Skeleton Crew, The Monkey by Stephen King takes an absurd premise like a wind-up monkey being able to kill living things, be it people or insects, and make it downright creepy and at times chilling is a really amazing thing, in my opinion. This is a testament to King as a master storyteller in any genre, but especially horror. Though as much as I really enjoyed it, I think some more world building and a few changes would have made this a classic. I'm dying to see the movie, and if this video does well, I might do a video comparing the story to the movie. Thanks for watching. I have some more King related videos in this playlist, and I will see y'all in the next one.